Ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Main Event Podcast. My name's Dan. I'm the current champion. I just don't have the belt with me. That is Jez. How you doing, Jez?
Possession, Mr. Trudger, is 9/10 of the law, and evidence presented here suggests that I am the Main Event Podcast World Prediction Champion.
No, you're not.
Sir.
No, you're not.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be mine.
You reacted to that a lot more calmly than I was expecting, to be honest with you. I was trying to get a reaction out of you, and I haven't, held the belt back deliberately. It's just been a really busy week, and I haven't sent it to you. But I was, I did wonder if you'd even get through the intro. I was like, will he introduce the podcast, or will he say, "Oi, why is my belt there? What?"
I'd already seen it.
Had you?
As soon as the thing came on this, I saw it and I was like, "Oh, okay, that's where it is."
I mean, I did wonder if it would just completely derail you. So kudos for it not.
I'm too good. But anyway,
I will send it back to you, and you can keep it warm for a few months. That's fine.
Yes, and judging by the way all of it today went, possible.
Spoilers.
Anyway. On today's show, we've got quite a few events to discuss. We did do, this wasn't this week, it was week before, which was New Japan Pro Wrestling, Windy City Riot, tongue twister. And then this week, we had TNA Rebellion, we had AEW Dynasty, and we had NXT Spring Breakin.
Listen to you saying it like a British person, Dynasty.
Dynasty.
All right, Nigel McGuinness, calm down.
Because that's what it is.
Yeah, I prefer the pronunciation of Dynasty. I think it sounds better. Yeah.
No, it's Dynasty. That's how you properly say it.
I mean, Dynasty sounds like somebody's making a lot of noise, like there's a massive din going on. So yeah, I like Dynasty because it's got dine in it, and it sounds like I'm eating, or there's a dinosaur about. So yeah. Dynasty sounds better.
We could be eating a dime bar.
Oh yeah.
There you go.
Soft on the outside, hard on the inside. Armadillo.
Whatever you say.
Yeah, I've just suddenly realised that commercial / branding for dime bars probably predates you by a good couple of years. So now I feel old. Let's move on.
Let's move on. But anyway, this episode of the Main Event Point, as is pretty much all episodes at the moment, we are sponsored by Goat Energy Drink, which Jeremy has a can. So we have 2 flavors. There are 4 flavors, but we only have 2 in our possession. This one is the Horny Goat edition, which is their standard flavor, which is, I can't remember, it's mango and other stuff.
Mango and pomelo and something. Doesn't it say on the can?
No, well, it probably does somewhere, but I can't be bothered to read it.
Fair enough. Reading is hard. Yeah.
Bear with, I'm dyslexic. Yeah, no, I can't see it anywhere in my quick glance. But you have the one that we enjoy the most, the Truly Sexual Cherry, the Funky Goat.
Mm-hmm.
They also do have
It says cherry on this one.
Cherry, this one doesn't for some reason.
It's just because it's their signature flavor, isn't it? So
yeah. And now they have 2 more flavors. They have a new Great Mango, and they also have a caffeine-free watermelon flavor, which I'm quite eager to try. So if you fancy any of those cans, do head over to goatdrinks.co.uk, and if you fancy a cheeky discount, because I think everyone does, do put in the code JEZ10, that one, at the checkout, and get 10% off and free shipping.
Yeah, I've been chatting with my friend Ben from the Absolute Bedlam podcast this week, who put us on to Goat Drinks in the first place, and is a big advocate of the watermelon. So yeah.
Oh, is he?
So looking forward to giving that a go.
To that.
Really must actually get my acting gear on several fronts, belts and drinks and everything. one day it will happen. Yeah. But as you said, we do have a lot to talk about this week.
Yeah.
Many, many wrestling events, and that's not even considering that we're not talking about the road to Wrestling Dontaku, which is also taking place this week. We're just gonna, we're not even really talking about Windy City Riot because we did talk about it last week. We're just gonna get caught up with predictions because, as you somewhat rightly pointed out, you are indeed the new Main Event Podcast World Prediction Champion. So the scores are reset after WrestleMania, and Windy City Riot was the first event from that. The scores on the doors for that: Jez 7, Dan 4. Not a great start for you, if we're being honest about it.
And I feel like it's going to get worse.
Well, spoilers once again. Backing Jack Perry and Minoru Suzuki, amongst others, did not really work out for you.
I will always back the Murder Grandpa.
Yeah, I mean, I can see that. But he is definitely, in New Japan at least, he's definitely transitioned into that, old veteran, open the show, fight the young lions type role. Elsewhere, all bets are off. I think people are pretty keen to give Minoru Suzuki wins and put belts on him outside of New Japan Pro Wrestling. But in the cerulean blue, as they say, he's probably going to lose a lot, which is a shame, really. But
it is.
Now then, shall we start TNA Rebellion? Shall we go with that?
Why not?
This was a great show overall.
There was not bad, wasn't it?
There was a lot of energy to it, and the pace was pretty punchy. It went from match to match to match. There were a lot of matches that were not announced, outside of the main card, but generally it was very decent. I was pretty impressed with it as I was sat there watching it. We're going to talk about two main things from it. I say from it, I suppose the first thing we're going to discuss has really been happening out in the wilder world on social media and everywhere, apparently, because our good friend, we don't know him personally, but we assume he's our friend because why wouldn't he be? Joe Hendry has been going viral in various places. His entrance music theme and the video for it has been spliced into all manner of things. It's a bit like the old "and his name is John Cena" meme. It's just as long as there is the opportunity for a surprise in any viral video right now, that surprise is say his name, he appears. I believe in Joe Hendry. It's quite difficult to sync up on a video chat far away from each other, but pretty much everywhere Joe Hendry has been going viral. And in order to capitalize on that and further that, Joe Hendry has decided that now is the time to officially release his entrance music, his entrance theme song, on proper streaming platforms like Spotify and Amazon Music and all that kind of thing, as well as make it available for purchase on outlets where you still have to spend money on music, like stupid Apple and pretty much just Apple. Everywhere else you can stream it, but Apple, no, everything costs more money than it should. So, it's only 79 pence, and if it's available anywhere other than Apple, I will probably buy a copy of it as well as stream it a bunch of times. But the goal is to get this song, I Believe in Joe Hendry, into the UK top 40 so that it gets played on Radio 1 on their countdown show. So it won't be this Sunday because it's being released on the 29th, I believe.
Yes.
Which is Monday, checks notes?
Yes, that's Monday.
So it's released on Monday. That means that every purchase, stream, etc. for the entire week will go towards getting it into the charts. So as of Monday, the 29th of April, play the hell out of that on your streaming services. As I said, Spotify, YouTube Music. I think it's probably available on whatever Apple's streaming thing as well. Is it Apple Music? I don't know. But wherever you stream your music, it will be available. And if you've got a 79p knocking about, I don't know what that is in dollary bucks, but it's probably under $1 still.
Yeah.
Believe in Joe Hendry, buy the theme song, and help to get it into the UK charts. I don't know if you have to be in the UK for the purchase to count towards the UK charts. I assume it does. That makes sense, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So maybe buy it with a
Probably.
VPN if you're out there in a country that isn't in the United Kingdom. Like, get a VPN, buy it, pretend you're in England. It's pretty easy. Very exciting.
There you go. Words of wisdom from Jezza.
We believe in Joe Hendry.
We believe.
And you should too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did he win at Rebellion? No, he didn't. He lost.
No. Yeah.
Rich Swann beat him. So, TNA obviously haven't got the memo. And we're like,
No.
I don't care if he's going viral and could potentially bring loads of eyes onto our product. He's losing anyway.
Yeah.
Good booking, TNA. Great job. Excellent work.
Great job, TNA.
As usual. Yeah. Why capitalize on a big thing?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think then the other thing that merits discussion from Rebellion, not that it wasn't a good show, it really was, but time moves on and a lot of things were pretty inevitable on the show. Moose retains the TNA World Championship, which is a move that we did not expect.
No.
We both predicted that Nick Nemeth would be walking out with the belt. And I still think it probably should have happened, to be fair.
Yeah.
But that wasn't really the news. The news was, immediately following the main event, was the return of Broken Matt Hardy.
Yeah.
That was pretty good. Not bad. Yes. In full deletion mode, he returned and stood across the ring from Moose. Apparently has not signed a TNA contract. Is there on an appearance-based thing? But we've at least got a bit of Broken Matt Hardy for the next few weeks until WWE potentially decide to call him up and get him into the Wyatt Six or whatever that new stable is going to be called.
Yeah.
Although I don't see that happening.
No.
I think Matt Hardy is doing WWE a favor by throwing that out there as a possibility, because people will believe that he is going to come and join that stable, and then he probably won't, because I just don't see Triple H hiring him again.
No.
He's very much in the twilight of his career. Has got into great shape for his TNA return. But I just don't think it does anything for the WWE product. They want to be pushing younger guys and using it as a vehicle to move forward. So I don't see Matt Hardy really fitting into that. But TNA is probably where Matt Hardy did his best work. So let's see what comes from it. Let's see what happens going forward. I haven't checked into Impact taping spoilers or anything for what happened after Rebellion. So in a matter of hours, I will look forward to seeing if Matt Hardy is on the show. I would assume so, but
I hope so.
You never know. TNA may fail to capitalize on that as well.
Yeah.
Big return at the show. Not on our weekly TV, but whatever. Also in the return mood, we had two other big returns, or three if you count PCO, although PCO didn't really go anywhere. He was just storyline returning after being beaten up. Mike Santana joining TNA again, has not been in TNA for a number of years, was last part of the LAX stable, and didn't have the first name Mike when he was last in TNA. But now, as we have derided on this show before, he is Mike Santana, a member of the TNA roster. Yeah. Good old Mike. And also, Sami Callihan made his return. His contract expired, I want to say, towards the end of last year. He may have been on that first TNA show, and it may have expired after that. I don't remember. But his contract expired. He had gone to try and launch his own promotion, from what I read, and has either given up on that or is going to do it in conjunction with this, and is back in TNA. Your thoughts on all of these returns, Hardy, Santana, and Callihan?
Yeah, I think the main one is just Matt Hardy. especially bringing back the Broken gimmick. Mike Santana, fine. Callahan, fine.
I'm hoping that Santana does something.
Something.
He was starting to build a little bit of momentum in AEW. He beat Ortiz and put an end to that weird real life rivalry that had taken place, and no one really understood what the hell was going on with them, but it doesn't matter now. Get him in the X division. I think he'd fit quite well in the X division, and
take the belt of Harley.
Someone's got to do it, and why not Mike Santana? Well, because he's called Mike for one, but Mike is not a hard man name.
Mike.
I can't take him seriously as Mike Santana.
Fair enough.
Just call it just Santana, mate. It's quite easy. Santana. Maybe he's not allowed to do that because of the band Santana.
Yeah.
He might have to have a first name. Just not Mike. Even if it was Michael, that's fine. I've got no problem with the name Mike. It's just not a very hard man name for your, Puerto Rican
what would you call it?
Hard man gimmick. Let's go with Dave. I don't know. Off the top of my head, literally anything is better.
Dave.
Yeah, Dave Santana. All right, Dave Santana.
Or at least try and have something a bit Puerto Rican.
Yeah, that matches the Santana name a little bit more. Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to come out here and suggest Hispanic names because that will come off incredibly racist, but just not Mike, okay? Enough of the Mike. Any other thoughts about TNA Rebellion? Anything else you'd like to talk about particularly? No. It was a solid show and very enjoyable, and definitely shows that TNA is still going in the right direction, is on the right trajectory, which is good considering we were very concerned after Scott D'Amore was let go.
Yes.
So, there's hope. We like hope. Predictions. It kind of went back and forth for us. We were mostly predicting the same things. Lots of it was very predictable.
Yeah.
The ones that I got wrong, you got right, and then the ones that vice versa. So it kind of balanced out, and we ended up on 5 apiece.
Lovely.
Which, considering I think there were only 7 available to predict, and then more were added on the night, that's not too shabby. Not too bad. Main event is really where we both failed.
Yeah.
On that aspect. Now, do you want to talk NXT Spring Breakin left? Because there's not a huge amount to talk about there, and then the meat is AEW Dynasty, really, isn't it? Let's be honest.
Yeah, should we do Spring Breakin?
We'll do Spring Breakin.
Spring Breakin.
Spring Breakin. We're Spring Breakin.
Oh, we are Spring Breakin.
And really, there's, there were only 4 matches to predict on that, and they were all pretty inevitable. The first one that merits the discussion really is Roxanne Perez retaining the NXT Women's title. Predictable, yes. The right call, though?
I don't know. It depends what happens with the WWE draft. If she gets called up and she's still women's champion, it's kind of like, really? Because it means basically she's going to drop the title at the next show, which is a bit annoying.
Yeah. I don't think she's quite ready, to be honest. It would be strange to have put the belt on her at all if the plan was to bring her up for the draft. And that's not to say that they didn't, decide that they were going to bring her up to the main roster after she'd won the belt. But I've got a little bit more faith in WWE's long-term planning than I used to. And I feel like if the plan
you've got
was
faith in Triple H.
Less so Shawn Michaels, but faith in Triple H. I've got faith in Triple H to say, don't put the belt on Roxanne Perez. She's coming up to Raw or SmackDown in 4 weeks. I would assume that best friends Triple H and Shawn Michaels probably chat here and there.
Maybe
they'd talk about the thing that they do for a living. Each of them, possibly. You never know. So I would hope that she's not going anywhere. But and that's the call that we made. We both, I say we both. I don't know what you did because someone forgot to predict Spring Breakin.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And I, full disclosure, I messaged him. I reminded him. He was
at like 11:30 at night.
Yeah, but that's like my lunchtime. Like,
Yeah, I don't
just
care.
because you
Some
go to
of
bed
us,
early, that's not my problem.
Some of us go to bed at a normal time.
I go to bed at a normal time
In America.
Yeah, I mean,
we're in England.
I was in bed the same time as you. Just it's got 2 different letters at the end of the time. I went to bed at 10 o'clock Eastern.
Yeah, but we're in England.
Right, but we're talking about things that don't happen in England, in the wrestling.
Yeah, but some of us have a job that can't be flexible.
I mean, that's not necessarily true. Like, horses can look after themselves. So
No, they can't.
I think you're just doing horses wrong, frankly, mate. I think you need to train them better.
You've clearly never worked with horses.
That's not true. I grew up around horses.
Yeah, I know you grew up around horses, but you didn't work with horses.
Okay, maybe when you've got a number of horses, they kind of gang up on you, possibly.
Yeah, I've got 20 to look after.
Yeah, that's 19 more than I ever did
Yeah, exactly.
in one go. So, yeah. Okay, well, 18 more. I had 2 at one point. But, yeah, they're going to gang up on you.
Yeah, they do.
20 horses. By the time you've, like, finished feeding them all, isn't it time to feed the first one again? Like, you start with number 1 and then you just work your way through all the horses. And then, like, oh, man, that took hours. It's lunchtime now. I better go back and do it again. No wonder you have to sleep all the time.
I can feed them all in about 15 minutes.
What, do they have to share?
No. I just go around with a wheelbarrow with loads of food in it.
You're not helping your cause, mate. It doesn't sound like you do very much at work, and you could probably have been up at 11 o'clock when I messaged you to remind you about spring breaking. Anyway,
that's just one part of it.
Massive tangent. The bottom line here is that Dan forgot to predict, and so he gets 0 points for spring breaking.
Yeah. It was only 4 points. That's what I'm telling myself.
I predicted Roxanne Perez to win because I truly believe that she is not going anywhere, and that the NXT Women's title will probably stay on her for the majority of 2024. I would say. That's how I'd book it. There aren't truly that many women on the NXT roster that are ready and are not broken. So
yeah,
I think they need to hire some women from the Indies or from Japan or something to pad that out a bit. Oh, on that note, apparently Julia is going to debut on NXT soon.
Oh, there you are. She could be an opponent for it.
Absolutely. Like, Julia is main roster ready, let alone NXT. So
yeah, there you go.
Yeah, let's give her the belt. Screw Roxanne Perez. No one likes her anyway. Speaking of moving up to the main roster, though, another person who is not going anywhere, we believe, by virtue of winning the NXT Championship at Spring Breakin, is Trick Williams.
Yeah.
Conversely, losing the NXT title to free him up to go up to the main roster is Ilya Dragunov.
Yeah.
This was very inevitable.
Yeah.
Do you think that hurts Trick Williams in terms of, his first big, major championship win? Okay, he was a North American champion, but the major championship is the NXT championship. Does it hurt him that he's kind of won it by default because Dragunov has to go?
I don't think it does, because I think at the moment Trick's got so much momentum behind him. Everyone's loving him. I think, yes, it does play it down a little bit, but not so much that it will affect him, I think.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think there is a little part of it. It's like, it's a shame that, it didn't happen at another time, so that it wasn't just, of course he did because Dragunov's going.
Yeah.
But at the same time, they have built to this for quite some time. He's beaten lots of former NXT champions. He's been in that match with Dragunov before and, come this close and had that ripped away from him. And, he just came out of a major feud with his former partner and won that. So, he is ready for that. Yeah. And, it's interesting to really kick off that debate of who's better, Trick Williams or Carmelo Hayes. Carmelo Hayes will undoubtedly be going up to the main roster as well.
Yeah,
he
needs to anyway.
He does need to. Yeah. He was ready a long time ago.
Yeah.
And maybe next year Trick Williams for the main roster. But enjoy your championship reign.
Yeah, enjoy the championship.
Bit of a strange end to the match. It kind of came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
To the point that I didn't actually get through all of NXT on Tuesday night, so I watched this the next day, and I was doing some work at the same time, and to the point that I was like, oh, I can look away for a moment because we're in the middle of match. You know what a middle of a match feels like.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden he's there holding the belt up. I'm like, better go back then, I guess, and see how that happens. That was out of nowhere, and it really was out of nowhere when I watched it back.
Yeah.
It was just they're having a match. All of a sudden,
it was
he's pinned
wham, bam, thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, so could have been a more convincing end for the title reign, especially because they did the Ilya Dragunov hugging him and saying he deserves it type thing afterwards. Dragunov should probably have had the excrement kicked out of him a bit more to really justify that, but it was a means to an end. Hopefully Trick Williams will have many excellent matches for that championship going forward. Before we get to the prediction score, the NXT brand is going to hold a premium live event inside the UFC equivalent of their performance center Battleground in June. What do you think about that?
Okay.
I don't really understand what they gain from doing that.
I haven't got a clue.
I guess it's a nice bit of cross promotion, all the same umbrella now, UFC, WWE, same company basically. So I guess it puts eyes on UFC from WWE fans.
Yeah.
Maybe a bit of vice versa, but I think at this stage you're either into wrestling and MMA, or you're just into wrestling, or you're just into MMA. I don't think there's much room for... I think wrestling fans know about UFC, and UFC fans know about WWE, and you either watch both or you don't.
Yeah.
I don't think you're gaining very much from it. I could be wrong.
You basically just covered every basis then.
Well,
you either watch it or you don't.
It's a 50-50 chance,
Yeah.
But my point is...
Yeah.
I can't think why they're doing it other than...
No.
They're not going to sell many tickets. I think you could have Battleground in a medium-sized arena where you would normally have Raw or SmackDown and sell a bunch of tickets and make a bunch of money.
Yeah.
That place looks kind of small and not really built for broadcasting a show.
No.
Are they going to fight in the Octagon? Are they going to move the Octagon and put a ring there?
It'd be cool if they did fight in the Octagon.
It would be kind of cool if they fought in the Octagon, but you've got a lot of young talent who are just getting used to fighting in a wrestling ring, let alone mixing that up and changing it to an Octagon. So I hope they don't go down the TNA circa 2007 route where they try to have wrestlers have like MMA fights and it just be weird and like and we certainly don't need another brawl for all.
You mean like Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler?
Yeah.
That weird thing that happened.
Yeah. Or like back in the day, Bart Gunn and Dr. Death Steve Williams, and it's like, oh yeah, this guy will probably win, and then legitimately just knocked him the hell out and nearly swore then. And it was just a bit of a train wreck. Yeah. I don't know how much you know about the Brawl for All, but they did not expect Bart Gunn to win, and Bart Gunn was like the least marketable person of all time, and they were really disappointed that he was just genuinely hard and would knock people out very quickly, including JBL, who they probably expected to win. They expected either Dr. Death Steve Williams or JBL to win because both of them are legitimately hard people as well. But no, Bart Gunn just went, poof, down you go, and sorry about your damn marketing strategy. Yeah. Anyway, we'll see what happens and the build to it. We've got another week of spring break-in and probably a few weeks before they start building towards Battleground. We'll see how it goes. Predictions.
Could I make a plea for a prediction point? Purely because last week it went on record that we both said that Trick Williams will win. Did it or did it not?
I will reluctantly say yes.
Because it went on record.
However, I've already put the scores in the machine, so you're not getting it this week. I'll put it on next week.
Okay, put it in next week. That's fine.
So as far as right now is concerned, you get nothing, sir. Good day.
Yeah.
What film's that from?
Willy Wonka.
Correct. Now you definitely can have that point. There you go.
There you go. Good old Gene Wilder.
So you'll get 1 next week, 0 now. This week, I get a perfect 4 out of 4. Bing, 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 bing.
4 horsemen.
Indeed. Yeah, it's been a while since we've done the numbers.
Yeah.
4 horsemen. Okay. Onwards. I expected this to be average and that we wouldn't have too much to talk about. But I've got to give AEW its flowers. Dynasty was pretty damn cracking.
Not bad, was it?
To be honest with you. So, and again, I'm like, I want to kind of narrow down the things to talk about. And I've narrowed it down to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 things.
8 things.
Which is like a third of all of the matches that took place at Dynasty, because it's AEW and there's 100 matches on the card.
Third? More like 5th.
But I've tried to narrow it down. Some of it we'll talk about more than others. Let's go. Kicking off the main pay-per-view was Kazuchika Okada versus Pac. I think we expected this to be an okay match. Do you believe the hype? People are saying that this is a match of the year candidate. Do you agree?
I don't think it's a match of the year candidate. Don't get me wrong. Great match. Good way to kick off. Great. Match of the year candidate? No.
I'm less convinced. I think it was a really good match, especially for where it was placed.
Yeah.
Great decision to use them to kick off the show, absolutely. Yeah. And a great way to kind of fully introduce Okada to an American audience. Okay, he's been there for like a month and a half and he's won a championship, but he hasn't really been in the ring with anybody who can come up to his level in the ring.
Go.
You know, Okada is a goat. He might not be a funky goat, but he is definitely a goat.
I'm not saying what goat he is on my can.
I mean, he might be. You know, he brought his wife with him from Japan, so he can be a horny goat as much as he wants in New York City, where he now resides. But he is definitely a goat. He is one of the best wrestlers in the world right now. Yeah. And that, you know, there's a reason that Tony Khan has thrown a lot of money at him to have him in AEW rather than let him go to WWE. Pac also, you know, he's not too shabby himself.
No.
The old man from Newcastle upon Tyne, England.
Newcastle.
And so I think that this is the first match in AEW for Okada where it's like, okay, I'm in the ring with somebody that can go and can match my intensity and match my in-ring skill. And I feel like it was a really good match.
Yeah.
I feel like if Ospreay and Danielson wasn't on this card, we'd be talking about it as, you know, the match of the night and one of the best matches of the year, one of the best matches in AEW history. So I'm excited to see what else happens between Okada and the other incredible wrestlers that are in AEW. It's strange because obviously we had him and Danielson a couple of times, and they were good, but they weren't spectacular. I feel like Okada versus Pac was better than both of the Danielson matches combined, and that's strange to say considering what a great talent Danielson is as well.
Yeah,
more on him later. But great start to the show. we both went with Okada to win because that was obviously what was going to happen.
Yeah.
Good start for us. Next, the Bang Bang Gang unifying the trios, AEW trios titles, and the Ring of Honor 6-man tag team titles. Well, kind of unifying them. They're still going to carry them separately.
Yeah.
Will they lose them separately? Will they keep them as one thing? Will they get new belts? I don't know. They've only just got a new 6-man tag belt for Ring of Honor, so it would be a shame to get rid of it already. But there's something telling me that Tony Khan or somebody high up in AEW has got a bee in their bonnet about the term 6-man titles. It's just something that Tony Schiavone said. I think it was on Collision the night before, or it might have been on Dynamite. He called the AEW trios titles the 6-man tag titles accidentally, and then corrected himself and was like, sorry, I should be using the more inclusive term trios titles. And it was as if somebody had told him off, and that he was being a naughty boy. That he'd been like, no, oh yes, sorry, I have erred, and I will apologize with my tail between my legs. It just seemed that way from the way he was talking.
I can mimic what it would look like. What the hell are you doing? This is the backstage people.
I mean, he's not Vince McMahon. Damn it!
Damn it!
They're trios titles. Yeah. So, yeah, who knows what's happening with the belts, but the Bang Bang Gang hold them all. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, good. I was kind of thinking that the Acclaimed were kind of going a bit stale.
They've done absolutely nothing with the trios titles.
So
they were
Bang Bang Gang's kind of
they were the hottest thing in wrestling when they won those belts at All In last year, and they have done nothing with them, despite the fact that they are, they've got scissors on them, they turn them pink, and they made them, totally on brand for the Acclaimed. They've done absolutely nothing. I think that was probably like the third defense of them since last August, which is just, what a waste. What an absolute waste. Who knows what's going to happen with them. I was kind of digging the super group, the Bang Bang Scissor Gang. I was more on the lines of, let's turn the Acclaimed heel and bring them up to, Jay White's shenanigans rather than have them object to them and break them back up again. It's very disappointing to me. And they clearly don't want to call them Bullet Club Gold anymore, even though they still slip that in here and there. But Bang Bang Gang is the name. Again, I don't really care to see the Bang Bang Gang with the trio's 6-man titles, because I want Jay White to be in the singles picture and be, fighting for singles gold. You've got a month to lose it, Bang Bang Gang, so that when Ospreay wins the international title, that we can have Ospreay and Jay White fighting for it, and then I can get very excited and bounce up and down. That'd be great. Any thoughts about the match itself or anything else around those belts?
It's an alright match.
Yeah, I mean, it was a strange thing to put on the pre-show. I feel like it deserved to be on the main show, but we both went for the Bang Bang Gang, so guns up, points up. Next, speaking of the international title, Roderick Strong defeats Kyle O'Reilly. After the match, Adam Cole, there but by the grace of God, walks again. He is risen from his wheelchair and is walking again.
He is the second coming.
I feel like he's still not ready to return. I had heard rumor that the rehab was not going quite as well as it should, and that he has walked in order to lull the fans into a false sense of security and think, oh, he's coming back soon. I don't think he is.
No.
He was out on Dynamite as well, wasn't he? He was walking on Dynamite, so maybe I'm wrong, but at the very least, he's back in the building and will be available on the microphone. I don't think he's available enough to bring MJF back yet, but
no. Did you see the look that he gave Wardlow?
Yeah, what is with Wardlow, man? Honestly, why can't they book Wardlow properly? It's just the same thing over and over again. Wardlow joins a group. Wardlow is mistreated by the leader of the group. Wardlow does all the work for the group. Wardlow leaves the group, beating up the leader. It's like, come on, man. It's been like 4 times that you've done that. The Pinnacle. Who else was he with? It was the Pinnacle, and then it was something else with MJF separately. And then who else was he with? Oh, it was him and Samoa Joe. Okay, that wasn't a group, but it was still the same story. It's like mistreated by his tag team partner, or ignored by his tag team partner, or something like that. And it's just, this guy should have been world champion ages ago. Not because he has earned it or deserves it, but just because of the way he's booked.
Yeah,
his Goldberg monster style gimmick. It's like, it doesn't make sense that he is subservient to literally everyone in AEW.
Yeah.
It's nonsense.
Yeah.
I just get annoyed about the way that Wardlow is booked, and they're doing it again. And he'll probably be Adam Cole's first match back after his injury.
Yeah.
Silly. Anyway, we're talking about Roderick Strong, which has been autocorrected in the notes to Roderick Sting, which is a mashup of wrestlers that I'm here for but didn't expect. Defeated Kyle O'Reilly.
Yeah.
Solid match.
Yeah.
Do you think O'Reilly should have won?
No.
I don't know.
Not yet.
I feel like he deserves singles gold down the line, but he's just come back. I think they rushed them into this a little bit too much. Probably should have had Kyle O'Reilly just join the Undisputed Kingdom for a little while, and then have this match in 6 months when he has enough of them or something. But we both went for Roderick Sting to win, so that's another point each for us. Next, and this is another inevitable one, really. I'm going to probably get on my soapbox again. Willow Nightingale wins the TBS Championship from Julia Hart, and will defend that TBS Championship against Mercedes Moné at Double or Nothing at the end of May.
Yeah.
Meh. Do you want to say anything about this before I go nuts?
Well, I predicted Julia Hart.
You did, didn't you?
And
yeah, that was
the only reason I predicted Julia Hart is because I forgot about Mercedes Moné.
I want to live in your world where I can forget about Mercedes Moné.
I just forgot about her because she's done nothing since joining AEW. But that's my bit, so I'm just going to sit back and have at it.
Yeah, I'm not even sure this is a rant, actually.
It's going to turn into one. I know what you're like.
I feel super sorry for Willow Nightingale. Because, let's face it, she has been booked to win the TBS Championship so that she can lose it to Mercedes Moné at Double or Nothing. Because they have what they perceive to be that story of, Willow Nightingale won the belt that she wasn't supposed to win in the NJPW Strong Women's title because Mercedes got injured. Mercedes was supposed to win that title and carry it and do things with it. She got hurt. Boo-hoo. Maybe she should have wrestled more regularly rather than hanging around at home for so long for the year and a half before that. Maybe she might have been in ring shape and not broken her ankle or her foot or whatever it was. Boo-hoo. I feel sorry for Willow Nightingale because her first 2 singles championships have been on the basis that they've been an accident or because somebody else can beat her for it. And in the same event where you had the first African-American, black, whatever you want to call, world champion crowned, you also had an African-American woman win a belt just so that she can lose it to somebody else. Okay, that other person is black as well. I don't think that's the point. Do you see what I'm saying? You're making history on one hand while you're mistreating another member of your roster who's black badly at the same time. And it kind of annoys me. There is a world in which Mercedes Moné doesn't beat Willow Nightingale, I suppose. But at which point, you've been building her debut for months. You've paid her a lot of money, and she comes in and loses her first match. It just doesn't. That just doesn't make sense either.
Doesn't make sense.
And you've kind of booked yourself into a corner, and it's just an awful situation for Willow Nightingale. And she's like the peppiest person in the world, so she'll never complain about it, obviously. But it just irks me because Mercedes Moné does not deserve any of this.
No, she doesn't deserve anything.
No, unless you ask her, obviously. In which case, she deserves
then
the world.
she deserves everything.
She's better than Eddie Guerrero.
She's better than the Undertaker.
Yeah, she's done it all in the wrestling business.
She's better than Becky Lynch.
Deserves all the plaudits. Big money.
Yeah.
So, and also, just brings to an unnecessary abrupt end the end of Julia Hart as well, who was actually doing great things with that championship.
Yeah.
And the belt was created for Jade Cargill. Fine.
Yeah.
After that, Chris Statlander did a decent job with it, but it came back up to the same level again under Julia Hart. She defended it loads and was doing great things with it and really deserved a long reign of her own.
Yeah.
It's like, no, sorry, we need a trinket for Mercedes.
Yeah.
Let's
I get the feeling that Mercedes, she's obviously going to win it, but I have a feeling that she's going to disappear and just pop back every now and then.
You think she's got a Brock Lesnar contract or a Roman Reigns contract?
Yeah, she's just going to pop back like, "Hi, I'm still here."
Big fat Mercedes.
Nobody cares.
Yeah. Okay, here's the question.
Uh-huh.
And maybe there'll be a point in this view as well down the line.
Ooh.
Who attacked Mercedes Moné and Willow Nightingale backstage?
Really don't care.
I mean, you're not going to get a point for that.
I don't know, really.
Do you know what I think?
No.
Chris Statlander.
Yeah.
And I want to see Chris Statlander as a heel, so let's do it.
You're all for that.
Yeah. And that could be the way that they have Willow Nightingale lose without it hurting her too much, is because Chris Statlander kind of blindsides her in their match, and she wins because she was blindsided, not because Mercedes Moné is good. It's one way around, it just being a squash. But I still don't like it. No. Well, there you go. So that is the first real deviation in our predictions on this show. So I picked up a point from that, and you did not.
Well done.
Next. And I really didn't expect to have to be discussing this, and this is one that we both got wrong prediction-wise.
Yeah.
Chris Jericho wins the FTW Championship after hitting Hook in the face with a baseball bat.
Just why has he won it?
So he can rebrand it as the For the World Championship. It's the For the World Championship. It's for the people.
No.
You've got to sit under his learning tree.
Yeah, a new nickname for him.
Because he hasn't got enough gimmicks and nicknames.
Yeah.
Lionheart, Y2J, the Ocho, the best in the world at what he does.
Painmaker.
The Painmaker. He had another one around that time as well, didn't he?
Yeah, he's got
Le Champion.
Le Champion.
What else has he got? I mean, he's got this now, the Learning Tree. He's also working in the Jericho Vortex as well, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, mate, I get that you are really good at reinventing yourself, and you've done it, every couple of years, but it's like, maybe just stick with one of the things you've got now. Just maybe. And he's got rid of Judas.
Yeah.
So he's definitely going heel. I like it though. I do like heel characters that don't know that they're heel, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Whenever the crowd boo, they're like, "Oh yes, I agree. Yeah, boo the other person I'm talking about, not me."
Yeah.
I feel like that's a fun way to be a heel, and Jericho will do that well. I was more excited to see the FTW title turn into more like a hardcore title.
Yeah.
To be honest, I feel like that's what they need to use it for a bit more now.
Yeah.
But this is in here purely because of the shock of it, really. No, I don't think we expected Jericho. Well, I know we didn't expect Jericho to win because we predicted Hook, but yeah, very shocking.
Yeah.
Got another one.
So, man, I've not heard of these ones.
Okay, go on.
So there's obviously Lionheart.
There was another one in Mexico.
The Man of 1004 Holds.
That's him, yeah.
Y2J.
Yeah.
The Ayatollah of Rock and Roller.
Yeah.
The Sexy Beast.
Yeah, oh yeah.
the self-proclaimed living legend, the king of the world,
Oh yeah, yeah,
and the best in the world at what he does.
yeah.
And then the rest that you said.
Mm. Do you not know the significance of the Man of 1,004 Holds?
Mm,
You will have
I
seen this
think-
promo. It's like
Yeah,
one
I
of the
think
most
I've-
iconic wrestling
Yeah.
promos of all time. Dean Malenko was the Man of
Yeah.
1,000 Holds.
Yeah.
And so in his feud with Dean Malenko in WCW, on one of the very early episodes of Nitro, I want to say like the second episode of Nitro or something like that, Chris Jericho came to the ring to declare that he was better than Dean Malenko because Dean Malenko is only the Man of 1,000 Holds. He's the Man of 1,004 Holds. And to prove it, he was going to list them. And so he pulled out a scroll and just went down like that, and he started listing them. And the hilarious thing about it was he was like, number 1, armbar. And then he said a few other ones, and some of them that were just clearly made up names, like the something like the three-handled family credunza or something like that, which is funny because when the Radicals came over to WWE, Perry Saturn actually named his finisher whatever Jericho said. Like he actually called it the broom-handled, three-handled family credunza or something like that. So that was funny. But every like 5 or so, he would say armbar again. So it was like number 1, armbar, and like, blah 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 blah. Number 6, armbar, and he'd say it so deadpan as if he wasn't repeating it over and over again. And they went to break. And when they came back from break, he was like, number 362, armbar. And it was just so entertaining. Jericho at his absolute best. So yeah, that is why he was the Man of 1,004 Holds. And if we can get that kind of level of Jericho, then I'm happy to sit under the learning tree, frankly.
Yeah.
Right, moving on.
Yeah.
The Young Bucks won the ladder match, the end of the tournament for the AEW World Tag Team Championship, thanks to outside interference from a returning scapegoat Jack Perry. We'll talk about what happened after Dynasty, because it is very, very relevant and very, very interesting. This Wednesday on Dynamite, Jack Perry was reinstated by Tony Khan. He then attacked Tony Khan, hit him in the chest with a microphone, and then when the Elite came out to defend Tony Khan, they in turn decided to deliver the Meltzer driver to Tony Khan and leave him laying in the middle of the ring. Also amongst all of this, it was announced that Kenny Omega is back next week. Again, probably in a Adam Cole type role, not wrestling, but talking and helping to build this story forwards. And Tony Khan, having now, in terms of kayfabe, had his neck broken by the Meltzer driver, has got a weekend of NFL draft ahead of him. And if Tony Khan is pictured at the NFL draft not wearing a neck brace, I will be highly, highly, highly disappointed.
Yeah.
He has to be there in a neck brace, and he needs to completely ham it up. They've got like NFL Films filming Tony Khan this weekend because he is doing the draft with his dad, Shad, and he is also then going to be, doing Collision and Rampage on Saturday night as well. Yeah. So he's doing it all in the Tony Khan way. He doesn't sleep apparently. He's not like you sleep all the time. Yeah, when you're supposed to be predicting things. Tony Khan doesn't sleep, and he does it all. So if he's not in a neck brace, then it's going to be massively disappointed. And I've got to say, I was wrong.
You were wrong?
I was wrong.
About
the playing of the CM Punk all-in footage.
Oh, yeah.
Because this is what it was building for. And I feel like this moment is a standout moment in AEW history. The first time that Tony Khan was, he doesn't really show up on TV that much in terms of like on the main show. He does the press conferences and all that kind of stuff and all that kind of thing. Yeah, I mean, he doesn't really have the presence for television, I'll give you that. No. But, to be attacked by your own EVPs and left laying is a pretty big deal story-wise.
Yeah.
And I feel like that this is going to skyrocket Jack Perry. And the playing of the CM Punk footage was all designed to do that. And it was kind of what we were saying last week. The point of playing the footage was to make Jack Perry look bad.
Yeah.
And I didn't understand why you would want to make Jack Perry look bad.
Now you do.
Now I do. And I was wrong. It wasn't stupid. It was a very good idea. And hands up, I got it wrong. Kudos, Tony
you're
Khan.
complimenting Tony Khan.
I am. I really am. Did you not like this moment? Did it not make you like giggle a little bit?
Yeah, it did. That's what annoys me.
I feel like Jack Perry is going to be like the most hated man in wrestling. And considering, they were chanting, "He's our scapegoat," and things like that when he arrived, and then they were booing him at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah. Build into the fact that no one really likes the Young Bucks because they're crap. Like,
yeah, they are crap.
They're not as good as they think they are.
No.
And that they've rested on, 5-star approval from Dave Meltzer for the last 15 years.
Yeah, which means Jack.
It does mean Jack, yeah. I do like the very quick dismissal of the Meltzer rating system. It's like, how many 5-star matches does Kurt Angle have under the Meltzer system? Oh, right, none. Yeah, the system's broken then, isn't it? That doesn't work. Because Kurt Angle definitely had 5-star matches.
Yeah.
Yeah. All of that. Very excited to see how that build's going forward. And I'm excited to watch the NFL draft tonight and see Tony Khan. I don't know when the Jags are picking. I've got to look it up now. What number are the Jags? They didn't do very well last year. I think they're going to be in the teens. NFL draft order. Obviously, as a Chicago Bears fan, this will mean nothing to you, but I'm very excited because the Bears have got the first pick. We know who they're going to pick, so I've got to get excited about something else. Where are the Jags? Jags. Oh, do they not have a first-round pick?
Unlucky.
Not there. Oh, there they are. 17. They're picking 17th. I might be asleep by then. Gotta be honest. It starts at 1 a.m. There's a lot of shenanigans with trading and stuff. I might be asleep by then, or it might be I'm staying up for the Jags, see Tony Khan in a neck brace, and then I'll go to bed. You'll know in the morning because obviously I will put it all over social media and it'll be fantastic. So watch this space. But if Tony Khan, Tony, I know you're watching us, big fan. If you are not in a neck brace for the entire of this weekend, you have failed at everything. And I take back every nice thing I've ever said about you. Wear a neck brace. Kayfabe it up. Get people to watch your program from the NFL. Thank you. Right.
Yeah. Moving on.
Hoping I don't get on my soapbox again for this one. Another question. Is this the match of the year? Will Ospreay versus Bryan Danielson. In a word. Match of the year?
Possibly.
It's a good word. It's a good non-committal word, possibly.
Yeah.
Okay. I will now afford you more words. What did you think of it? And, qualify that possibly.
Very, very, very good match. Top notch from these guys. What you expect from these guys?
You'd hope so, yeah.
Definitely match of the night. For me, anyway. Match of the year. Possibly.
What gives you pause? What makes you think that it might not be match of the year?
Just the injury at the end.
Yes, and much aligned with my thinking. I feel like the way that they booked the ending totally ruined what was an incredible match and possibly the best matches of either of these men's career. Yeah. Which is saying something. Yeah. It really is, I don't I just don't like the whole, oh, I did a move and it hurt him, and so I shouldn't have continued. And it's just crap. It's just a crap idea.
Will Ospreay's retired that move.
Yeah. Well,
the whatever driver thing.
Yeah, he calls it the Storm Driver 91. Yeah. Which is it's the Tiger Driver 91. He did it in his match with Omega at Forbidden Door. Yeah. And Omega sold it very well and landed right on the top of his head. And people were saying right there and then, please stop doing that move. You're going to hurt someone. And in the press conference, he was like, no, mate, I do what I want. Live in the moment. Screw you. So I just don't like it. It's awful. It's crap booking. I feel like it put a massive anticlimax on what was an incredible match. Yeah. Like, sure, if you wanted to do the driver and then the hidden blade and then have him be like, oh, my neck, I'm injured, blah blah blah. Yeah. Fine. But this whole notion of, oh no, he should have stopped. It's like, it's crap. It's crap. Yeah. And on Dynamite, when he was in the Battle Royal gauntlet thing, he went to set up for it as if it's a move that he does all the time. He's done it like 3 times in his career. Yeah. Like, and then he hesitated, and they're building the story of, Don Callis wants him to do whatever is necessary to win. Yeah. And it's just crap. It's just a stupid story. Yeah. And it ruined the match for me. So that's why I can't list it as a match of the year candidate, because all of the good work and the truly excellent work that they did in the match was blown away by this stupid ending. Yeah. Yeah. Don't like it. And I'm willing to be proven wrong. Maybe the story goes somewhere in the same way as, the Jack Perry footage type thing does. And I'm quite happy to hold my hands up and say I'm wrong. I'm not precious like that. I don't think I'm going to be doing it in this situation. I can't fathom a way out of this stupid match ending. Yeah. I really can't. Watch this space. The right person won. We both went with Ospreay for the win. So there you go. Oh, what I didn't say about the ladder match is that I went with FTR. So you gained a point back there. I thought, pardon me, I thought that Jack Perry was going to come back and cost the Young Bucks the titles, or that something else would happen, shenanigans. Yeah. But there you go. Yeah. And now, finally, in our closing discussion of this episode of the Main Event Podcast, it's time for the main event of AEW Dynasty, in which Swerve Strickland, which apparently is difficult to say, Swerve Strickland defeated Samoa Joe for the AEW World Championship. Yeah. In a move that neither of us predicted. We both went with Samoa Joe. I ummed and ahed about this one. Yeah. I went back and forth. I'm like, are they going to do it? No, it's too early. They can't do it. They can't put it on Swerve. Like, no, they're not going to do it. I think that Hangman Adam Page comes back and costs him it, and then they run that back for the 100th time. I think that's what's happening. And then, no, he just beat him clean, and it just happened. I'm like, oh.
Just happened.
Right.
Yeah.
There you go. Fine. Cool.
Yeah.
Do you think it's too early for Swerve Strickland to be AEW World Champion?
Something in me wants to say yes, but I'm not sure.
I get that they wanted to do this.
Yeah.
And I get why they wanted to do this. He's definitely worthy of the AEW World Championship. Yeah. Don't get me wrong. Yeah. And he's super over, the dancing and all that kind of stuff is super over, and it works. He hasn't held another singles championship in AEW.
No.
Okay. Lots of the other world champions that we've had in the short history of AEW didn't either. But most of those other people, MJF being the exception, have held world championships or major championships elsewhere. And so that's why they get to jump the line a little bit.
Yeah.
MJF got to jump the line because he's been there since day one. And, he was only not a singles world champion from an oversight, really. Elsewhere, it didn't happen for him because he was overlooked, quite simply. Same could be said for Swerve Strickland, I suppose.
Yeah.
He was overlooked elsewhere and he should have had major acclaim elsewhere, but that's an argument. I feel like they have rushed Swerve to the championship because they were desperate to apply that first African-American AEW World Champion moniker.
Yeah.
And while that is hugely important that representation happens, I don't feel like it makes a difference whether it happens now or 6 months, a year from now, after he has beaten more main eventers, held more singles championships, done more to pay his dues in AEW towards that. He may have paid his dues elsewhere, but I don't think he's done enough, especially to just beat Joe clean like he did.
Yeah.
And then to just have him come out in the opening match on Dynamite and just have a regular match without any kind of pomp and circumstance or celebration in any way. It was just like, okay.
Yeah.
Right. This is how it's going.
Yeah.
And it's just a damp squib.
Yeah.
I don't want this reign to be a forgotten reign for Swerve Strickland. And it's at great risk of doing that because the body of work isn't quite there in AEW.
Yeah.
It would be a shame. I mean, we all know that Ospreay's winning it all in anyway, so that's probably the length of Swerve Strickland's reign until August when Will Ospreay beats him. In front of the English crowd. So
bring it on.
Yeah, bring that on. I'm happy with that.
Yeah.
But, yeah. International championship up first for Will Ospreay.
Yeah.
That works for me.
Yeah.
It truly does. Yeah. Do you have any thoughts about this main event match? It was a decent enough match.
It was a decent enough match, but kind of along the same lines as you.
Yeah. It was anticlimactic after everything else that had happened in the night, really. I wonder if they should have opened with this.
Maybe.
And that Ospreay and Danielson should have been the main event. But no, if not with that ending. If it was a normal ending, then sure, have Ospreay and Danielson be the main event.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, we're not really rating the shows anymore.
No.
As such, but, just out of interest, what would you give AEW Dynasty out of 5?
Probably 3.5.
Which is generous for you. Let's be clear. That doesn't sound very generous, but that is pretty good from you. Yeah. I would probably say 3.5 as well. Which is probably slightly less than your 3.5 because I'm usually a lot more generous with my things. A lot of good and solid event, and every event that's just happened is Tony Khan's favorite. So this one was fantastic according to him. I think it was good. I don't think it's up there with the best that AEW have put on in the last nearly 5 years of their company's existence. Things like the ending of the Ospreay Danielson match, the kind of lack of I can't even explain what was lacking in this World Championship match.
No.
I can't put my finger on it, but I'm really, really interested to see who Swerve goes on to face at Double or Nothing. It's got to be someone bonanza. It's really got to be someone good, and he has to beat them. Yeah. It might even have to be like Danielson or God, who else is there that is a massive championship caliber guy that can have a fantastic match with him in the main event and then Swerve still win, and it makes sense. Moxley?
Can't really think of anyone else.
No. There really is.
They're surely not going to do Hangman again, are they?
Oh God. I mean, I'm happy to see them fight again because that rivalry is fire, but not for the championship now. Okada. And then he's got to beat Okada, and it kills Okada's momentum.
Yeah.
It really is difficult to
Yeah.
know how you're going to actually make this reign of Swerve Strickland
Unless
credible.
Joe just gets a rematch.
Again, if he gets a rematch, he should win.
Yeah.
It's weird. I don't know.
Yeah.
You've booked yourself into a bit of a hole here at AEW, and
Yeah.
I hope you can dig your way out of it. And you're not too distracted by the other fantastic story that's going on the rest of the card.
Yeah.
You know? Who knows?
Oh well.
We will have to wait and see.
Yes.
And see what happens. Probably a couple of weeks before we talk about AEW again, unless something crazy happens in the next week. Because all of our focus in next week's episode will be the WWE draft, which kicks off tomorrow as of recording on Friday, April 26th, and finishes on Monday the 29th, which, in case you didn't tune in at the beginning, is when you should be buying Joe Hendry's entrance theme wherever you get your music.
Buy it.
We believe in Joe Hendry, and you should believe in Joe Hendry. Can't think of a better way to finish, to be honest.
On that note,
I think that pretty much sums up our show.
Yeah.
Thank you very much to everyone that has joined us.
Yeah, thank you very much.
It's been a busy one, lots of wrestling.
Yeah.
But I'm here for it. We've also got a lot of New Japan coming up in the next couple of weeks as well.
Yeah.
This Super Juniors tournament and Wrestling Dontaku and all that. So
yeah,
lots to talk about.
Lots to talk about.
Until next week, I've been Jez.
I've been Dan.
We've been sponsored by Funky Goat. Jez 10 gets you 10% off.
And a horny goat.
Oh yeah, all the goats, including
all
Okada.
the goats.
Jez 10 gets you 10% off and free shipping. We'll see you next week.
Bye. Bye.